Today, I'd like to take a look at the importance of the mind in terms of that search for joy, the search for happiness, the search for meaning in life, and the role of the mind in that, both from the perspective of the Buddhist concepts and the Christian concepts. So, the importance of mental projections. Um, Buddhists recall the story of told by the Dalai Lama, and basically he was a child, and when he was a child, he was passing through a very dark area in the Potala. So this area was extremely dark and very scary to him as a young child. And the Buddhists speak about that these feelings of being scared or being uncomfortable can really stick with one for a long period of time. So the importance sometimes of an experience we have affecting our minds. So even when we're in an area that is not scary, but yet there's a reminder of something we went through when we were younger, and it affects our everyday experience. And so the importance of the mind in terms of preparing for joy, preparing for happiness, very significant. Um, Another story that is sometimes told in terms of from the Buddhist perspective, say for example, when a person's flight is canceled, that can often lead to a lot of upsetment, a lot of, what am I going to do now? Dislocation, I'm here at the airport, all of these feelings. Um, Instead of getting angry about that, which is an understandable reaction. You're at the airport, you're there an hour ahead of time, you're all set, and all of a sudden something is the matter with the plane or the pilot or the crew and they can't fly. And so it's canceled and you're stuck. And so you get angry. From the Buddhist perspective, instead of getting angry at that, which you can understand, the practice of meditation, of saying, well, this is an opportunity, a time for me to meditate, to reflect on my life, and to reflect on what's happening and what I'm feeling and what I'm experiencing. So you go from that initial anger now to a more peaceful state, a calmer state, a state of meditation. And when that happens, many of the Buddhists will experience feeling really less frustrated, that, there's some things I can't control. This flight and the plane and the crew and all of that, I can't control any of that. I can get angry, but what is that going to accomplish? But if I meditate, I can feel calmer, more peaceful, and use it as an opportunity to commune with nature, with my surroundings, with people, with my God. All of these then positive feelings take over from the negative feeling of the anger. From the Christian perspective, we look at this situation in terms of the mind and the relationship of the mind and happiness and joy. Being on earth, really, from a Christian point of view, is a time for us to learn how to be good. We're given these opportunities. Either I can help and create something positive and bring goodness to the fore, or I can take the other path. I can be indifferent or I can be evil, out and out evil. But I have this opportunity. God has given me this time. What good can I do? How can I help others? How can I build up the human community? And when I enter into life this way, when I have this type of mental attitude, of trying to do good. What happens really is I can become a more loving person. I can become a more compassionate person. I can become a kinder person. So I have this opportunity now to either get frustrated, upset, or this opportunity to reach out to others, to do good, to bring peace and love to them. And so from a Christian perspective, we see this as an opportunity. Yes, my plane has been canceled. Yes, it's, difficult. But is there some good that God is calling me to do here? Maybe reaching out to another passenger, maybe helping somebody. Maybe this is an opportunity to do good. So when I look at it in that way, my vision is a little bit different. The anger and frustration naturally is going to be there. It's a difficult occurrence. But yet, how can I do good in this situation? In this type of approach, I'm often reminded by the example of Cardinal Joseph Bernardin from Chicago, great man in the history of the U.S. Church. Cardinal Joseph was unfortunately, in his later years, had to cope with the illness of cancer. And it was pancreatic cancer. He went for treatments, and a very difficult situation in his life. But Cardinal Joseph writes about it in his book in terms of dealing with illness. And he said, really, this was a great opportunity that God gave me to reach out to other patients who were suffering from cancer. So he would speak with them, pray with them, get to know them, share meals with them. It was a different journey for him. Difficult journey, of course. But yet, he saw it as an opportunity to love. And so from the Buddhist perspective and the Christian perspective, the power of the mind in terms of dealing with these situations is extremely important in terms of both faith traditions. The concept here really that we speak about in terms of Christianity is you are a masterpiece in the making. And we think of the great art masterpieces in the world, and we go to these museums and we love to see them, and they're just amazing. And we say, well, how could somebody come up with this? But when you think about it, you and I, all of us, are masterpieces in the making. And when we have that attitude of the mind where we want to do good, be more loving, be more compassionate, we can create those amazing masterpieces. The masterpieces of generosity to other people. And whether we come from the Buddhist tradition or the Christian tradition, this is our call, to be masterpieces in the making.